Hello, my friends, and welcome back on the show. So, today, let's talk all about organic marketing on social media. So, the way I always teach marketing to my clients is there are only two types of marketing you can possibly do for dental practice, and honestly, for any business. There is an online marketing and there's offline marketing, okay, in person marketing. When it comes to online marketing, it's either free, also known as organic, or it's paid. And when it comes to offline marketing, it's typically there are different branches, right? It's typically referring partners, right? Either dentists or other partners, or it could be sponsoring events, it could be the postcards, like all different types that you do in person. Okay. So today we're going to focus on online marketing, specifically organic marketing, the type of marketing that you don't pay money for. Technically, somebody has to do this, and that somebody's time is hopefully valued something, right? It's either your staff is doing or you're doing, and hopefully you value your time. And so it's not free, but it's not like in the terms of you're paying money to run ads, right? So online marketing, organic or free, we're talking all about your social media when you're not running ads. And you can kind of call your website too, although it costs money to do the website unless you know how to do it or somebody in your family knows how to do it. You have a husband who knows how to do it, a friend and stuff like that. But typically we pay for somebody to do our website and then maintain it. So that's not quite free. And then of course there are ads. That's the paid marketing. Okay. So again, organic or free, it's your social media and your website-ish, right? Because we have to initially pay for it. And then the other part of online marketing is paid ads. All right, so we're not talking ads today. We already talked ads in the previous episodes. So today we're talking all about marketing on social media for free without running ads. And there are a couple of misconceptions. There are a couple of myths I want to bust first, and then I'm going to teach you about the fundamental two types of marketing that you can do on social media in order to start attracting patients today without paying a dime. So here's what I want you to know about social media. Number one, your Instagram page, your Facebook page is not just quote unquote a landing page. One of my clients told me this once that I don't even know who that was. I think it maybe was her website person or her ads person. And they said, well, your Instagram is just kind of like a landing page. It's just there. And I almost fell from the chair. I was like, what? What do you mean? So if you guys have heard this advice that your Instagram is just there to be quote unquote active to make you look like you have Instagram, but not to attract patients, you are losing a huge opportunity to bring in patients through your Instagram or Facebook. Okay. So your social media accounts for your practice are not just to sit there and look pretty. In Honestly, for me, I own 3 businesses, and anything I do in these businesses, if it's not bringing me money, I'm not going to do this. Like, why? I'm about to have a 3rd child. I have 3 jobs. I don't do anything just because, to make it look cute. Hopefully you want an ROI as well on your time or money investments. So if you have heard that you will not be able to attract patients from Instagram, it is false. You can. And today I'm going to teach you how. So let's look at your Instagram or your Facebook page. I kind of use them interchangeably. I'm going to talk more about Instagram, but as you know, what you post on Instagram goes on Facebook, right? Because it's Meta. Technically, the format is a little bit off, especially for reels, for videos. But I personally post the same stuff, and we're doing just fine financially. Okay, so let's talk about Instagram. There are 2 types of things you need to do on your practice's Instagram account in order to attract patients. These 2 types of marketing are called billboard marketing and interactive marketing. Okay? You may have heard the term outbound. It's the same thing. Outbound means we go out and we bring patients in. Inbound marketing means that patients reach out to us. They call us, they schedule on our website, they come to us. Both type of marketing are great ways to market, and just so you know, I feel like in the dentist world and community, we have this idea that our practices should run mostly on inbound marketing, meaning patients should reach out to us to book a consultation. But did you know that there are very large companies that primarily function on the outbound marketing, meaning cold calls, meaning reaching out to clients? And I'll give you examples. Anybody heard of Salesforce in San Francisco? Gigantic company. Did you know that all their marketing, like I don't know the exact numbers, but the vast majority of marketing that they do is outbound? Crazy, right? How about Zoom? Anybody heard of Zoom? Microsoft? They do cold calls, y'all. That's how they stay in business. They reach out to people. Okay? We as doctors don't do this as much, like us or our staff, but there are giant companies in the world that heavily rely on that strategy. So it's a very valuable, what's the word I'm trying to think? Very good strategy, right? And I know a lot of doctors say, well, I don't have time. Do you think headquarters of Microsoft has time? They hire people, right? Do you think like Microsoft is less busy than you and your dental practice? Exactly. So let's go back. So there are two types of marketing you can do on Instagram. One is called billboard marketing. One is called interactive marketing. So what is billboard marketing? Billboard marketing is you posting posts. Okay, posts, reels, carousels, all kinds of stuff, but you're posting. And the reason why I call it a billboard is think of billboards. Think of when you're driving on a highway and you see these billboards, right? Like injured, call this number, or Chick-fil-A exit 69, right? You see all of these different billboards. Now, let me ask you this question. How often while you're driving, you stop and dial that number? Never, right? Now, they still do it for the brand awareness, but you typically don't reach out to businesses from billboards. Typically, not always. Sometimes we do, depending on the quality of the billboard, right? So that's why when people say, oh, posts will not attract patients, first of all, depends on the quality of posts. The type of posts that I teach you to create, the custom posts, will attract the inbound patients will reach out to you, but it's only about 20 to 30% of the time. The most important part is what's called the interactive marketing. Interactive marketing is you or somebody on your team, depending on how busy you are, needs to proactively reach out to potential patients. And there are multiple ways how you can do it. And I teach all of them inside of my 8-figure practice. But you can reach how you should be absolutely answering to or reaching out. Well, first of all, let's step back. You should be definitely answering all of the DMs as soon as you can, as soon as possible. You should obviously answering all of the comments. Most of the dental practices don't have a ton of traffic in engaging with them. So you need to be proactively reaching out to anybody who liked your post or even watched a story. And if you don't post in stories, and if you don't even know what a story is that, your the picture of your practice or your face, like the little avatar on Instagram or Facebook. And sometimes there's like this, at least now in 2026, there's like a rainbow line circle around them. That means something is posted, and these stories disappear in 24 hours. You should be posting stories every single day, my friend, from 3 to 8 slides. You don't need a ton, but you need a couple, because study after study after study shows that the highest engagement you have with your followers inside of your stories. I don't know if you knew, but actually only 4% of your followers see your posts. Can you believe that? So if you have 500 followers right now, so that's, 20 followers? Is my math right? Very few people, right? So stories is where it's at. So you need to make sure you're posting stories and you're posting links in your stories. For you, most likely will be a link to book a consult with you. Okay. And you need to be reaching out that interactive marketing when you start interacting with followers through your stories. Somebody has to spend every day 30 minutes doing that. Another strategy is to be in Facebook groups where your ideal patient hangs out, to look up hashtags that they're looking at. Like, let's say you're an airway orthodontist, that's your niche. And if you don't know what niche is, then listen to previous episodes or just check out the 8-figure practice in the show notes, in the link in the show notes below. But you need to be, let's say, if you're an airway orthodontist, hashtag airway Nashville. You need to be going to those hashtags and looking up what people are saying and commenting and engaging and sliding in their DMs. That's where it's at, my friends. There's something called ManyChat. It's an AI it's an automation that can automatically send messages in the DMs, like answer to people that are reaching out to you. And you can also set up some automations so that you don't have to do this yourself. But gigantic companies are getting customers through DMs on social media. So why aren't you doing this? It's an amazing, very low cost to free strategy that can bring you pre-qualified high patients that are really interested in, not just somebody who has teeth and a pulse and was able to buy dental insurance when they're in your office and now they have price objections. Okay? So to summarize, you can absolutely bring in new patients every single day from social media, and you need to do two things. You need to have high quality posts. That's your billboard marketing. What I see a lot of doctors do is they pay a company to create 2 to 3 generic posts per week. And those generic posts are actually what they use for other doctors as well. Did you know that? Literally word to word. They're using the same post for a competition. They just slap on your logo on your post and their logo on theirs. That's why patients are comparing you by price, because you guys literally all sound the same. And I get it. It's very overwhelming for a small business owner to run a practice, and now I have to do social media, this and the other. That's why I created a plug and play system for you so that you can train anybody on your team. Pick somebody youngest in their 20s at the front desk who have used Instagram or Facebook before. And within hours, she can learn my strategy of how to use ChatGPT, how to use your brand sheet summary, exactly copy paste the prompts so she can start creating high quality content. That's your billboard marketing that will start attracting the right patient. How do you know that your Instagram is working? Look at your DMs. If your DMs are filled with dream premium patients asking you, how do I book a consult? You know your practice's Instagram is working. And I teach you the framework to do that. That's 20%, 20 to 30% of the game. This 80 to 70% is interactive marketing, reaching out and doing all these things where you are or your team members are pulling patients in DMs. And it's very much worth making time. Like in business, we always say you either pay with time or money. You choose. If you want to spend money on ads, again, listen to my previous episode. Make sure that you have a niche and you know your dream premium patient. Otherwise, you're literally burning cash. Sure, you can go the route of ads, but a couple of things. I always tell people, never disregard organic marketing, because Mark Zuckerberg can change the rules tomorrow and your ads can get shut down. That has happened to millions of small business owners. And if this is your main pipeline or one of the biggest pipelines, you're going to be gone. And so even if they suspend you or he changes rules, like, think about this. Social media, y'all, we are on a rented land. You don't own social media, right? And so Mark can change rules any day, and then we're all going to be out of play. So ads are great, but it's really good to also have organic social media game going. And that's what I taught you in this episode. As always, there's going to be a worksheet coming with this podcast episode. Download it, start applying. And if you want to learn the ins and outs and have literal plug and play templates for how you can start producing high quality content and how you can stay organized in reaching out to patients, the outbound marketing. I have this all inside of the Mastermind Boutique Practice Accelerator Mastermind, or inside of the 8-Figure Practice Signature course. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.